What's up, guys? Good. How are you?
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. You talk a lot about Elijah Clark's play 2 weeks ago, the hustle plays. How much of that is an example of what you want from your group every week?
Oh, 100%. I think credit to him. That's how he is every day. I mean, that's how he is in every practice. So I'm not surprised by it. I mean, even the first game he got up, he was flying around like that he played. He was playing like that, but he practices like that. And that's what you want, speed, violence, and finish all in one play. It wasn't a great start, but it's all about how you finish. And that was a heck of a finish. And really good job. Really on that play, there's some credit to be for Shamar James. Also, he saw how they were trying to get the edge. He forced it back, and then also Marquise had also hit him too. But just an unbelievable play by Elijah. Just great effort, great finish, great strike. It was awesome.
Yeah, special teams, that's an ongoing position with guys in and out. How do you kind of make sure guys are ready every week and get them ready to play? Because you're going to make changes based on the health and someone gets moved up on defense.
Well, we try to put them, even when they're on the look team, just like you would offense and defense, try and put them in positions that they would play and just keep reiterating. It's shown over and over, so the proof's in the pudding that guys get brought up, they immediately have to play even without reps. It happens all the time. It happens against the teams that we play too. So as long as guys are aware of that, and then we try and put them in positions that they could be playing in the game. Like if someone could be a PP and we're on punt return, we'll put them as a look team PP or the wing, and same type of situation for kickoff and kickoff return. So they steal reps there, just like any look team.
Clarence Hill, DLLS, you talked about Elijah Clark last week. Malik Davis had the big touchdown run. Then the next possession, he has to go down and make a tackle on the kickoff. And, of course, James Houston, I think he had a big tackle on the kickoff as well. But just can you talk about the life of those guys and knowing, I might be in the regular offense, I might do this, but I can't get caught up in that because I got to be ready for special teams, maybe the next play.
Yeah, that was fun with Malik, too, because he's been doing such a great job for us and having him up and playing every week and contributing on teams. And when you're up on game day, you can only have a certain amount of guys, so everyone's got to contribute in some manner. And he's been doing an awesome job. It was cool because he scored. He came right over to the huddle. And I always want guys to fight. I said, hey, go make the tackle right here. How cool would that be? And just start breathing because they come over and it's like they're still juiced up. So it's like just pause and take it. Just get your oxygen back in and then refocus on the next thing, and then we can go celebrate the touchdown a little bit more. But it's a credit to him too. Just doing everything he can, and when he plays on offense, he's been producing and doing his job.
Yeah, this is a great moment because here's a guy, first touchdown. He could have jumped in the kennel. He could have done a lot of things. He got sidetracked.
Yeah, that's true.
But he was stayed focused. I got to go and get in this huddle because I know I got to be down on the kickoff.
Yeah, again, credit to him. Great kid, been working his butt off. It's just cool to see. And I'm not surprised, too, like Elijah, the way he practices, he's very serious. If there's a correction, he's like, it won't happen again, and I trust him. He gets it fixed.
Nick Todd Archer with ESPN. With Turpin on his kick return, what's the balance of he kind of slow plays it a little bit times, and then he'll try and hit it. What's the balance of that, of slow playing and hitting it, or just going right from when you get it?
I know. Every return is a little bit different, and it's hard to tell a guy exactly what their vision should be. Unless you've actually been in those shoes or you're the one who's actually running it. I think he does have very good vision. That's part of his way of seeing it, and he's had so many good cuts and breaks. And even this year when it's avoiding little hits that he may not be popping for big returns, but he's getting an extra few yards, that's something that he has those reactions. I think that's his way of getting to where he can see it, and then he's got that explosiveness to go get to that next level. We're just – hate saying it over and over, we're one away. We just got to get – the main focus is getting 10 guys to get their blocks. You got to have 10.
How does it impact your blockers when it is the slow play, or does it impact them?
It's not that big. I mean, the main thing is they're going to adjust to where he is. Now they just need to get to that new leverage, wherever that is, so he can – that's the cool thing. He can break off your back really well. The good runners have the vision but also the reaction to be able to break off a back if someone's leverage changes. Let's say, a coverage guy quickly crosses face, and then now he's got to make that cut. We just got to keep finishing. I know I keep saying it week in and week out, but I feel like we're close.
John Machota with The Athletic. I just wonder from your perspective these last 3 games, what it's been like being around the team. Like, have you noticed anything different about the guys, or is it the same as it was earlier in the year?
I think it's very consistent. I just think we're starting to put some things together. I think it's guys are doing a great job of treating every week like a championship performance. You know, like that's our opportunity for that, and that's been consistent with what Shadi's preaching, and I think the guys have, you know, been with that message and bought into it the whole time. I just think now you're starting to see some victories behind it. So you're seeing some more of the celebration, but as far as the work and the guys being together, I think that's how everyone was able to handle such a tough time a few weeks ago, because there's so much continuity and there's so much love in the building.
Nick Harris, 4-Star Telegram. Getting into December now, you have a pretty good grasp, I assume, on all these guys. Who have been the most consistent players throughout the season for you?
You know, it's we talked about Malik and Elijah, those guys stepping in. I think, you know, CJ's always been consistent for us. I think the guy that's really stepped up and had a lot of production that you guys would see is Brevin Spanford. I mean, he's had a ton of tackles, but I don't think anyone would have thought, you know, maybe he would have thought, but to know, a lot of times you don't think a tight end is going to be the one making a ton of tackles. You naturally think a defensive guy is going to be the one, but he's been a force. He doesn't hesitate. Even the tackle in the game that he just had on this punt, the way he just ran and stacked. And the week before that in Philly, he was doing the same thing, and he got blocked in the back just because he plays with trigger and he doesn't hesitate. And I think that's been really cool. Marist has been really consistent and violent. I think Hunter is always consistent in what he does for us. And, you know, I feel like I'm saying everybody, but Marquise Bell is, you know, he's been blocking his butt off too. We just want more production in the return side. I hope I'm not leaving somebody out.
Nick, Brad Sham, Cowboys Radio 105.3 The Fan. Two things. Davis says he thinks he got on your radar with a big tackle in preseason. Do you remember which game that was? And second question, are you pleased with your kickoff coverage, and do you keep a separate designation of when you've got a touchback that starts at the 20 as opposed to the 35?
Yeah, we've gotten better with the major touchbacks that get to the 35. I think Brandon's done a better job with that. I'm pleased because I think our guys play hard and they play violent. And the one thing, we get a lot of assists every week, and the league is not very generous with giving assists, but that means that we're swarming. Sometimes that can be a problem. You see, sometimes we get guys bottled up, and what have you all seen happen? They kind of bounce to the field, right? It happened last game. So we just have to stay more disciplined to the field on our finish, because our guys are all trying to get that second man in to punch and trying to attack the ball, which I love. I don't want to slow our guys down, but we just got to, you know, finish it better from the field side on keeping it on an inside pad.
In preseason?
Oh, the Malik. I thought it was the last game. I think it was the last. I can't remember. I think he had a big hit then, and I think Barron had a big hit that game too. I thought they both did in the third preseason game. Yeah, Malik. He freaking. Yes, it was cool.
Garrett.
Garrett Podell, CBS Sports. Hey Nick, you were talking about the touchbacks. It looked like Brandon very purposely launched the football out of bounds in the last. Can you sort of walk through that process and what goes into all of that?
Yeah, we were just going to kick it out of bounds, so we get the ball. They get it at the 25, and that was it. Once we kick it out of bounds, JT kind of had like a first preseason game type moment where he starts moving, and it was like, dude, what are you? It's a total brain fog where literally he could have just stood there because we all knew it was going to go to bounds. They move it now 25 yards from where you kick it. That's why if it was out of bounds from the 35, it goes to the 40. So here you just know, like, hey, there's no chance. We'll be happy if they get it at the 25. So that's what we were trying to do there. I mean, you could have taken the 5 and done the same thing to get it to 30, but we had just tackled them at the 20. So I was like, you know what, let's go cover this. And they ended up gaining 14 more yards than they should have there just because JT moved early. But that was what the plan was. That's why I kicked it out of bounds.
Joe Hoyt, Dallas Morning News. You talk about kind of being surprised by a tight end making all these plays on kickoff. When did you first notice that Brevin kind of had that ability and then consistently started doing it? I
mean, really just throughout the year. You want to see someone do it repeated, right? And then you know, like, oh, this is who he is. You know, making one play gets you more opportunities, just like in any position on the field. It doesn't matter where in the history of ball. So then they keep doing it. It's like, dang, this guy's really covering. He doesn't hesitate. He triggers. He plays violent. That's why he knocks guys back on kickoff coverage and then runs with the same, you know, attitude on punt team. But obviously in punt you got to protect first, and that's where a lot of times you have those tight ends out there. And when those guys can go cover and make tackles, that's big.
Finish with Nick.
As far as kicking it out of bounds from the 50, a lot of teams are doing that now. Do you feel like it's something that maybe needs to be addressed in the offseason, or is it just a strategy thing that,
Just a strategy thing. I don't think it's – I mean, they kind of look at everything, I feel like, every offseason, but that doesn't happen very much, where you get the 15-yarder and you just, kick it out of bounds.
All right.